Hey guys, welcome back to me being cheap. I'm a little hot. The air conditioner is out right now. Waiting on a part, waiting on the technician. Today's Saturday. He should be back on Tuesday. We'll see. Thank goodness we did have a cold streak earlier. It's getting a little hot today though. So we are September 12th today. It has been cool. We are wrapping up what is left in the garden, and I thought I'd talk to you about some food preservation that I'm going to be doing this weekend and carry you along through part of it. Kind of debating whether to show you how I'm going to do one of them, because I know that well, my kitchen, my rules, but the canning police might get me on this one, but we'll see. It's an interesting recipe that my husband enjoyed growing up for some bell peppers. So let me see if I can turn this around and show you what we have going. So hang on. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it. Okay. All right. I just had to start another video segment. My phone wouldn't let me do the reverse camera. Okay, so we have a lot of peppers here, and some of these I put in the fridge before I went on vacation because they were pretty ripe. Some of them, as you can see, are no longer nice and crisp. And then the rest of these were picked recently. And we have a lot of bell peppers, and I do have a recipe that his mom used to can when he was little, and he loved them, so I'm going to try it. I might take you along for that ride. Now, these hot peppers, banana peppers, and then these black, they're actually purple Japanese peppers. I'm going to put them in the dehydrator, and this is what they look like when they're done. And you can crush them up and use them as pepper flakes for seasoning for food. I've already canned quite a bit of hot peppers, and so I don't really need any more canned. So we're going to do some more dehydrated so that we have some for seasoning. I do have my dehydrator ready to go over there. I do have some jalapenos that I have left out on the vine, and if I get around to it today, I am going to pick those and try and make some jalapeno jelly. I am out of the 8-ounce canning jars, so I might run to Walmart and see if they have any there. I don't know. Some people's been having canning jar shortage. So I'll just kind of take you on a tour of what all I'm doing. All right, so I do have some green beans and some other type of beans down here in the bottom of this basket, and I don't think it's enough to do a load in the canner, so I'm probably going to blanch these and put them in the freezer. But this is an interesting type of bean. This is a dragon tongue. Let me see if I can find a bigger one. Yeah, they get about this big, and they end up yellow with these purple stripes on them. I guess the camera's picking that up. And then I've got several varieties of green beans, and I've got a few purple whole. I'm going to do those separately. And then, let's see if I can get in here. These are the red Swan Beans. And then I have a bunch of wax beans down in there, but again, probably what I'm going to do is just wash these, cut them, blanch them, freeze them, and be done with it. I don't think that I have enough. I don't think that I have enough to actually can these. So, let's see. I've got my jars sterilizing in that big pot. And then over here in my sink, I've got some tomatoes that I need to wash, and I've been putting them in these baggies, these gallon baggies, and then popping them in the fridge. And then when I have enough of these to do, I'll go ahead and can them. So I've got 3 gallons already in the fridge, and we've been getting about what you see in the sink, about that much each day, and just popping them in the bags until I have enough to actually do a batch of canning. So I'll be working on this for now, and I will check back with you in a few. All right, I have a sink full of mixed beans soaking. I'm going to wash them later on, snap them, blanch them, and freeze them. This isn't enough. This isn't enough to throw in the canner, so I will blanch them and freeze them. I had a few straggler purple whole peas right over there. I need to put those, I've got a baggie of them in the freezer. And I have divided out the peppers. These are the ones that I'm going to put in the dehydrator. And then this basket full of bell peppers is what I am going to can. So right now, I'm going to, these have been washed, and I'm going to de-seed them, and I'm going to cut them into quarters lengthwise. And I will just show you the end product. Because I can't hold the phone and cut at the same time. All right, welcome back. So we're taking a detour out in the yard. Michael's out here taking care of the animals this evening. And he had a coworker that used to keep chickens. And what was it, coyotes?
Coyote's got her two girls.
Yeah, Coyote's got her chickens. So she gave us her leftover supplies. And so we have some 5-gallon buckets here, and we get to keep the buckets, which is awesome. And so we've got chicken food, and this is some high dollar stuff. This is dried mealworms. So these are really good sources of protein for the chickens. And then we have some fancy scratch. There are some weevils crawling out, but that's okay. Chickens like bugs anyway, so it'll still eat the same.
And besides that, see those? It's the lesser of two weevils.
The lesser of two weevils. Oh my gosh. Boo!
Thanks, Pam.
And another bucket of chicken feed. And we call this Turbo Chick, but this is what we feed our baby chickens and our baby quail. It's like Gatorade for chickens. We call it Turbo Chick. Anyway, we hit the jackpot. So thank you for that gift of chicken supplies. We will definitely put it to good use. All right, I'm headed back in to cut up more bell peppers. All right, so I have put a gallon of water in this stock pot, or 4 quarts, and then I'm going to add 2 quarts of apple cider vinegar. And then I'm going to bring this to a boil, and I'll check back in with you later. So actually what you do to make this is you start with the brine, but you actually add the spices to the jar. So I will show you that step in a minute. All right, it's starting to get a little dark out, but Michael picked some of the butternut squash, at least the ones that were ripe. And we had hoped that we would be able to store these. I think you're supposed to cure them in the sun for a couple weeks. He said that some of them were buggy. I don't know if it's that one. Maybe some of these that are missing their stems. Maybe that one. So we may have to process those ahead of time. But the idea is once these are cured, you should be able to just store them on a shelf. But we actually cooked one of these when we went on vacation, and they were very good. So I'm pretty excited about this. And I do believe we have a lot more still out in the garden. All right, thanks for watching. All right, I cut all the bell peppers. They're quartered. The seeds are removed. Right now, I'm working on peeling some garlic. And I'll tell you a little bit about the recipe. We are using pint jars. And in each pint jar that is still hot, you're going to put 3 cloves of garlic. Now, some of these cloves are really big. So in the case where it's really big, I'm just going to use 2. So you're going to use 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. And then, let me walk over here and show you the spices. You are going to use 2 teaspoons of oregano, 2 bay leaves, and a tablespoon of olive oil. So you're going to get the hot jar from the canner. You're going to put in 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 2 bay leaves, and a tablespoon of olive oil. Then you're going to quickly fill the jar with the peppers, and then you're going to ladle the hot brine, which right before I get ready to do this, I'm going to bring this back up to a boil. You're going to ladle the hot brine over the peppers, and then you are going to cap them with your rings and lids. And that's it. And you're not going to put it back in the canner. So that's where some of the canning police might call that out. So again, I'm just telling you this recipe that I got from my husband's mother, and this is a favorite of his from when he was a child. So proceed with caution. This isn't standard canning. It is in a heavy vinegar solution, so that helps. All right, I'll check back in with you in a few. All right, welcome back. I am 17 jars in. I had to take a break to peel some more garlic, heat up some more brine, and sterilize some more jars. So while that's going, this is how much I have left. I am getting the the banana peppers and the purple Japanese peppers ready to go into the dehydrator. All right, thanks for watching. Hey, welcome back to me being cheap. They're having a music festival, informal festival, so if you hear any music in the background, I don't think it's copyrighted. Anyhow, these are the last of the quail that we are going to raise this year. These little guys were just moved out here today from the inside brooder box, and I guess they're probably about 2 weeks old. So these guys are here, and we are getting ready to send some more to freezer camp today. And I'll walk you out here. I'll show you our setup. So usually throughout the season, we've got quail eggs in the incubator, quail eggs in the inside brooder box, or quail in the inside brooder box, quail in the outside brooder box. And then out here in the quail pen, we've got the juveniles in the front part and the bigger birds that are about 6 to 8 weeks old plus in the second part. And they've quit laying for the season. Today is September 13th. So they've quit laying for the season, and it's relatively cool today. Not too hot, not too cold, so we're going to send some of these guys to freezer camp. Now, I will say YouTube's a little funny about things like that, so we won't actually be showing the process, but this is one of the things, if you're doing any self-sufficiency, any backyard homesteading or homesteading in general, a lot of people that do this do provide for their own meat. So we typically do this, we try to do it 1 or 2 times a year in large batches and go ahead and take care of that. We will actually soak them in some salty water in the fridge overnight, and then probably tomorrow night we'll pull out the vacuum sealer and vacuum seal the birds. But yeah, we've got estimating maybe, come around here, there might be about 30 in here. No, it keeps zooming in on the fence. But yeah, we'll probably do about 20 of these guys today and then do the rest later in the year. We decided that we're not going to overwinter any of these birds. We overwintered last year. We kept 8 female and 4 male as our breeding stock. But up here in Kansas, we can get some very cold temperatures, and it's always a challenge to keep the water from freezing. So this year, we've decided we're going to go ahead and send them all to freezer camp. And then next season, I will just buy some more eggs off of eBay. And I was actually checking out prices. You can get 60 fertilized quail egg, free shipping, and get those ordered off of eBay. I'll probably do that next year. Hope the price doesn't go up. But that's about the cost of 2 bags of the high protein feed that the quail take. So I think it's going to be a fairly even trade. So have another outlay of cash next year to purchase the new quail eggs, but I think we would have spent the same amount in feed over the winter, plus had to struggle with keeping these guys water unfrozen. So, all right. Michael's setting up with a campfire. That's where we throw the extra pieces that we're not saving. And we'll get set up and visit with you guys after we're done. All right, thanks for watching. Okay, welcome back to me being cheap. One final segment before I try and string this video together. I've had a fairly busy weekend as far as food preservation and harvesting. So the the bell pepper, I ended up with 20 pints, and 2 of them did not seal. This is one of them. It actually sealed, but only when I touched it, and then it went down. That does not count as a seal. So these are going to be in the fridge and will be used up first. There's 2 of them didn't seal, doing it that way. So I know the canning police will probably have something to say about that. But anyway, I am going to do another video on tips to know how your canned goods are safe or not. So I will, on the ones that are going into storage, I will take the rings off and wash them and label them. Yeah, so I do have some updates on that. So there's a lot of people like, oh my goodness, you know, you might get food poisoning, something like that with, you know, canned goods. But I'll talk about that in another video a little later. Okay, so these are the banana peppers and the purple Japanese peppers that were in the dehydrator. This is a quart jar, and this is how much they shrunk down to. So that's pretty significant. And again, what I'll do with these is crush them up, and then you've probably seen red pepper flakes that have the seeds in them as a spice or a seasoning. You can use this the same way for pepper seasoning. It's just not spicy, but it'll have the flavor of a banana pepper or these purple peppers. They're kind of sweet. They've got just a little bit of kick to them, in my opinion. I don't like a lot of hot stuff, so I probably think it's hot and everybody else doesn't think it's hot. Okay. Oh, before I move away from peppers, did not get the jalapeno peppers turned into jelly. Ran out of time. It literally took forever to cut up all these bell peppers, how they needed to be cut up and de-seeded. And we went to Walmart to look for some jars, some half-pint jars for jelly, and like everybody else has been posting, those shelves were wiped clean. All right, so that'll be another project for later. So butternut squash, I was going to can these, get busy on those, start prepping them, but went for a bike ride instead, which is good because I probably needed to do that. But I brought in 3 of them. These are the ones that I was going to can, and the reason why is there are areas in which it looks like the bugs have gotten them, and so these aren't going to store on the shelf like the ones that are not eaten by bugs. But I was wondering if any of you guys have any ideas for the future on how to prevent the bugs from doing this. So they didn't get all of them, but they probably got more than half, and these are decent size, so you know, I don't want to waste this, but I was really hoping to be able to store them on the shelf. And this one they got in around the stem, so I'm thinking probably, you know, first couple inches of this is probably not good. I won't know until I get that cut open. And then this one, it also looks like there's some issues going on around the stem as too. There's more of them that have some bug damage. They're still outside. I didn't make it in with them. Okay, the final thing, and here's your warning in case you don't like images of raw meat, but I'm going to show you the quail. I have not packaged them yet for the freezer. That's okay, I'll get to it tomorrow. But I'm going to turn around here and take you into the fridge. So that's what the quail looks like. I've got it soaking in salt water. These quail are not too gamey tasting, but they can have a bit of a gamey taste to them. For some people, the salt water helps with that. In my opinion, I don't think that that's scientifically proven, but I think it helps improve the flavor. Now, for those of you that are math nerds, it took two of us, my husband and I, 50 minutes to dispatch and butcher the quail and get them cleaned up, and we did 20. So that's how long it took. And I was really wishing that I would have kept track of the number of bags of feed I bought this year, you know, just to kind of give you ideas of what it costs. So, you know, raising your own food is not always cheap. Sometimes you do it because it's healthier. You know, they've got more, well, you know how they were treated. They were treated humanely, and you know what they ate. So yes, they did get commercial feed, but they also had the opportunity to scratch on the ground, pet bugs, what have you. So yeah, I think next year I'm going to keep track of that, so you guys will have a better idea, a better understanding of what it takes to raise the quail. And as we were dispatching quail, our original 12 that were the breeding group that we overwintered last year, we had bands on them, leg bands, and of the 20 we dispatched, only 2 had a band on them. So I don't know what the lifespan of a quail is anyway, but we were thinking about overwintering some, but then we decided no, we'll just get fresh eggs, fresh hatching eggs next year. I'm guessing quail don't live much more than a year. I don't know, maybe they do. The other option is maybe they just lost their band. That's always a possibility as well. I think I saw a couple bands out in the pen where they stay. Okay, yeah, we had a busy weekend doing some canning and putting up meat and some food preservation. So I'm going to sign off for now, try and string this video together, and touch base with you later.